Okay. Howdy and aloha, everybody. This is James with Montauk. I have the lovely Stevie with Redneck Economics.
Hello.
Hello. Anyway, thank you all for being here, or whoever's on here, or sees this, or has time to see it. Listen, my show is about saving the planet, all of its inhabitants, and if we have the correct public servants, then maybe we'll get somewhere. And I'm talking about not just the United States, but all over the world. And obviously, we don't at all. And it's fucking getting worse and worse and worse. Just want to say, what do you think's going on? I just not to throw a curveball at you, but I mean all this.
We're witnessing a massive transfer of power. And I thought that, and I've said this before, that there's a transfer of power happening right now. And I thought it was going to be from the older generation to the younger generation. But what we're seeing is it's from government even more so to corporations. Because money is power. So when you're transferring money, you're transferring power. That's why they're hesitant to give us any money, make us jump through hoops. And most of us won't actually get to see that. And that's why it's so easy for the rich to get richer.
So if they give us money, then we'll have more power. So that's why they limited it to $1,200 or some stupid little tiny amount of money.
Yeah, that doesn't even scratch the surface.
And we're hitting on like 10% unemployment. It's going to hit like 16, and I mean it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And hey, you can call it a pandemic. You can, say, hey, maybe Bill Gates had something to do with this, and his foundation or his laboratory only being 300 yards away from the epicenter, or it's just bats. Somebody fucking French kissed a bat or something. Who fucking knows? But it's here. People are dying. I'm looking at videos of people. Excuse me, coffins just being stacked, like people that I guess mainly homeless. From what it is, it's after it's all said and done with getting tested, getting popping positive for COVID-19, getting treatment, your bill could end up being, and some have already seen it, about $70,000. It was at about $30,000 to $35,000. Now it's about $70,000. And if you have insurance, your premiums just went up, your co-pays just went up. So I'm not exactly sure if Trump has designed anything to help people that don't have insurance, because as soon as all these people that get fired, or not fired, laid off, because all we have here, as you'll see, is just this is the essential critical infrastructure workers, communications, chemical, critical manufacturing, commercial facilities, dams, defense, industrial base, because you need that. You've got to have your weapons of mass destruction just so you can keep your slaves in line. Emergency services, of course. Energy, of course. Financial services, I guess so. Government facilities, of course. Nuclear reactor materials and waste. Water, of course, because you have water. Transportation, buses, we still see them running. Information technology, of course, that's why we're here, able to see you. Healthcare, which is definitely needed. I mean, absolutely needed. But the one I'm bringing up last is the food and agriculture. And sadly, because of Trump getting rid of all the immigrants, illegal or non-illegal, whatever, it's hard to pick the agriculture actor, the produce. Also, a lot of that's being thrown away because the restaurants aren't open. And we're seeing milk being spilled out by the tons. We're seeing by the gallons and thousands of gallons a day. We're seeing just a lot of waste that's happening right now because of this. And the sad thing is we went to the dump yesterday, and I got rid of a washer. We saved up for a while, a month or so, and we picked up a washer because the old washer was going out. So I went to the dump, and on my way to the dump, we went by the McDonald's, And of course, some guys out there, no mask, no gloves, and I'm saying this is fucked up. And he's at the drive-through, touching somebody's hand through this virus, and I go, that's just fucked up. And you, what did you say? You were talking about if he had equipment or what's it called?
They probably didn't even provide the equipment to him to use, because I'm sure he's not wanting to get sick. He doesn't want to make other people sick, but nobody has the ways to protect themselves anymore.
What's that called? The
personal protective equipment, or PPE.
So we're seeing this pretty much freaking everywhere, right? We're seeing this pretty much freaking everywhere. We're talking, and I've seen drive-through after drive-through, and I've gone through Walmart, and I had to go to Lowe's to get my washer, and mostly all the people that are in there, like 5 people that work there, had masks, and this one guy walks up. I showed you. This one guy walks up right in Lowe's, and he's got a mask on. It looks like an N95er, but it looks like he's had it on for like a year. And he's got gloves, but he's got holes in his gloves. His thumbs sticking out, and I'm like, oh my god! And this isn't an employee. This is just a customer walking through Lowe's. And what's happening right now, and yes, for sure, everybody fucking blame Trump, because this guy's just he's been a complete spoiled brat buffoon since day one, and he's not doing anything necessary for people that need what's needed to keep people safe from dying. I mean, that's the biggest problem. And I mean, let me go back to this right here and show you the food agriculture. And the reason why I want to show that to you a lot, because I want you to know that's where you're getting your drive-thru. That's where you're getting your food at Walmart. That's where you're getting your food at Sam's Club or grocery store or wherever. And none of them are prepared. They've got these shields now that they built in front of the registers. They've created
well, that's just here. I don't know, but that's the problem, is each state is completely different. I mean, Florida's a free-for-all right now, just a cesspool of infection down there. And then in Texas also.
Louisiana's pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, I know, shocking, the southern states aren't.
There's like 8 states that still don't have
but,
to stay at home.
But not that, any
Not
other states are doing much better. But, yeah, it's pretty bad. But we need something that's, I don't know, maybe like a presidential figure that could come out and do something nationwide to fix things. No. But instead, Trump comes out there for 2 seconds, says something, and then hands it over to somebody else. Does he not know this information?
He doesn't know anything.
I mean, what is going on? I mean, I've never... here's the thing that's...
Everything's hot. It's good. It's good. It's hot. Everything's good. We're doing great. We're fantastic. Everything's wonderful. Everything's great. All things bright and beautiful. Everything's hot. Everything's good. Everything's hot. Everything's
amazing.
Good.
The best.
Amazing. The best. We're doing the best job ever.
But
right?
but that's what's weird about this, is the fact that Trump loves to hear himself talk. He loves talking. He loves the attention. He loves the spotlight. And now all of a sudden he's like, here's this other guy. And hands it off to somebody else. It's just bizarre. It's bizarre that he's doing that.
Well, from what I've seen, I've been watching this kid for a while, and he's just a child in my opinion, is if he doesn't have an answer, or if it's an intelligent question, or if it's a challenging question, he'll definitely hand it off. He'll definitely go, I don't fucking know this one. Man.
Which, not to say that that's necessarily bad. I mean, if you're asking me a health question, I would rather hand it off to a doctor.
Yeah, of course.
For sure.
I get it, of course.
But it's weird that he's not talking about what he's doing, as far as like government action. Like, hey, I'm going to do this quarantine and we're going to do this. These are this, I've talked to the CDC. I've talked to these people and I'm coordinating. Like, he's not laying out a game plan. He's not really telling us anything that's reassuring people. And so we're getting a lot of misinformation. We're getting information that's not true, that could, somebody thinks is true and is going out there and possibly getting infected from it because there's no nationwide, law or whatever to make sure that people are safe.
No, and he didn't implement the War Powers Production Act in time. He's been late. It's like, here comes a fastball. He swung like 2 hours later. And he's not winning this game. And if he thinks he is, he's just not. You've got over 10,000 some odd people that have died now, getting close to 11,000 or something. I don't know. It's some god awful amount. And
I thought it was 100,000 that was dead.
no, I'm talking about in the United States.
That's what I thought.
No, it's not that.
Okay.
It's not that. I mean that. No, he has said he wants to. I want to keep it under 100,000. It's like what?
Oh no,
What?
that's a terrible statement.
That's what I think you're getting it from. If we could keep it under 100, you needed to keep it under fucking 100. Well, I mean, it's not even acceptable.
If you can prevent one death and you can't, and you don't do anything about it, that's on you.
Yeah, I don't want to keep bagging on this kid because he's just a fucking buffoon. He's just a spoiled brat.
I mean, it's not just him. I mean, we have to recognize the whole.
I
mean, it's the entire anybody that's the cabinet, our senators, our governors,
Everybody.
even the previous administration.
Republican
I mean,
and
like,
Democrat.
where is?
Republican and Democrat.
I mean, they're always talking about national security and threats and stuff,
Yeah.
but apparently they have never done anything to plan for, a biological weapon.
No, they actually had something, by the way.
I know there was a panel. There was a panel of people,
Yeah.
but I don't know if that panel of people had a
He got
plan.
rid of it. He got rid of it.
So they just shredded all the documents? Like there was a panel of people there,
Well,
and then there
some
wasn't, but
experts-
there should still be a plan somewhere. Like I don't know.
They're just off the cuff. They're just the whole time this has been happening. They're winging it. I mean, I showed a video. Did I show the video of this fucking idiot? He's the attorney general, not the. I mean the
Surgeon.
Surgeon general. Fucking. Okay, so on TikTok and pretty much everywhere, World Health Organization, CDC, they're saying the best, not the best, the only masks that you should be using when you're in contact or near people or you're one of these people that come in close contact with people, you should be using the N95 or similar mask. And the test is you put the mask on. Let's just pretend this is a mask. Like here. Could you do me a favor and just light this, please?
Hey.
That should never happen. Right? That should never happen. It doesn't happen with N95. If you have a scarf or a handkerchief or a t-shirt or a bandana and you fold it up, put a rubber band on it or whatever, and put it up, it might help a little bit, but you can still inhale. You can still receive. These things are microscopic. And the thing is, this idiot, I don't know if I fucking forgot his name. He shows you how to take a bandana, fold it, just a regular like t-shirt band, whatever bandana, put some rubber bands on and put it on your mouth. When the rest of the world is saying you've got to use the proper equipment.
Can we just stop for a second and just recognize that the Surgeon General is coming out and doing like a Pinterest video to help save people's lives because we're so overwhelmingly unprepared for anything like this that's where we're at right now. That's where we're at.
It's really sad. So I call it the terrible Trump task force of fucking idiots. And it's amazing.
I mean, what's next? Like how to cook ramen, like different ways to cook ramen.
Oh, I know how to cook ramen.
Yeah, I mean, what is he? I mean, this is just
I
terrible.
I
It's
am
terrible.
a ramen connoisseur, which is sad and not good. So, with all this being known and all this being said, we still need to do what we can to make sure the essential workers, all of them, are properly taken care of. Sadly, they're not being by our leaders, supposed public servants, that for some reason need to be appreciated. If you need to what is that in Fury Road or Mad Max series, when he says "recognize me" or something like that, they say that before they die. They squirt the silver stuff in their mouths, right, or whatever the fuck it is. They say something me, recognize me, or I forgot what they said. So he it's like he did not want to speak or help a governor that wouldn't fucking bow down to him. Mm-hmm. I mean, here's the problem. These people that we pay their salaries, right? They work for us. They work for us. And this fucking brat thinks that, oh, we need to appreciate him before you'll save us. The saddest thing is, the donor class, the 1%, the corporate fucking elite, pay them more. That's why they are getting what they want before anybody else. The Federal Reserve is just throwing money out to the banks. Anytime there's any kind of bill, fucking trillions and trillions of fucking money is just, it's a slush fund that they can just fucking do whatever they want, whenever they want, and there's your measly $1,200. There it is. Now go away. Goodbye, slave. Goodbye, slave. So this show is basically tonight about, and we're going to go over this as quickly as possible. I mean, I can go on and on and on how fucked up it is. By the way, Bernie, you have got to be the biggest loser. And right now, in my professional opinion, in my perspective, just a one man of the U.S. voting republic, for him to ask and say and do what he's doing now after suspending his campaign, he's so insignificant. He had the ability. He had the power once again to make the changes, positive changes for the 99% that was truly, really needed, and he fucking just flushed it right down the toilet. I mean, there's proof about rigging those machines, remote rigging. I'm doing some stuff right now, getting a lot of information. Yeah. I'm going to do a show on it pretty soon, pinpointing all this information. I'm gathering lots of information on that to pinpoint where this is coming from. There's a money trail. There's corporations. There's senators involved. There's a lot of people that are involved in these machines, and there's only 2 companies out there that make these machines that are made by, that are hedge funds. I think it was hedge funds that were owned by certain corporations, and anyway, that's totally something different. But I'm just gonna say, Bernie Sanders, just go away, bro. Just fucking.
No, I mean we just don't. We don't have the time or the energy to focus on him anymore. No, because a movement is more than one person. If one person drops out, no matter how important they are or what they do or what they have to offer, the movement just keeps going. It's an unstoppable force. People will come and go, but the ideas and the action still needs to be able to continue even if certain people drop out. So, okay, Bernie has some good ideas, a lot of good ideas, but sadly he's got his limitations, and so, okay, bye. Okay, we're gonna keep moving. We're gonna keep moving.
Don't let the door hit you in the ass on your way out.
He said the struggle continues. Yeah, the struggle continues, because we still don't get what we want. The struggle continues because 100 years ago we were asking for things that we're still asking for now.
Like during the
so it's time to
end.
No more. The struggle continues. The struggle ends now. It ends now. That's the mentality.
That's the mentality. We got to start doing the right
But
thing.
he just keeps, it's like perpetual struggle, perpetual fighting,
yeah.
Perpetual, never getting anything that we need, let alone what we want. I mean.
Yeah. Fuck you, slaves. So right here, this is so then we're done with this motherfucker. Right? So Biden accuser Tara Reid files criminal complaint over 1993 allegations, which I am very glad that she did. And she's serious. I mean, if you saw her on Crystal Ball, my God, that was real. That was fucking real. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, she was actually on with...
Yeah.
What's their name? Uprising?
Yeah, Crystal Ball and Cigar. and they freaking and she came in, told her story. I'm not going to get into detail because it's pretty fucked up. Mm-hmm. And just said that's what happened. And as I'm watching this woman, she wasn't flinching. She wasn't looking left, looking right, looking somewhere else. She was like, this, I can tell when somebody's kind of bullshitting me. That didn't happen. Now here's the thing: if she takes the settlement, right, which they're gonna offer her some money, you fucking know damn well they're gonna offer her some fucking money. Damn well they're gonna offer her some money. So that's what we're left with: some idiot that's gonna lose to Trump, that's gonna beat the shit out of him with fucking. It's gonna be like watching if Biden even makes it, which I don't think he will, to a debate or any debate with Donald Trump. It's gonna be like watching a bully beat up some old man.
I mean, if Joe Biden didn't have such a heinous past, I'd feel sorry for him. You know, it's just like, you know, he's old, he's demented, but man, you know, crime bill. Anita Hill, you know.
Yeah, Anita Hill, God, she even went sideways on herself.
Man, have at him. You know what? Question Joe Biden like Anita Hill got questioned. That's what they should do.
Oh, they're going to. They're already. Did you see the commercial for them?
Mm-mm.
So Biden puts out this commercial that Biden supports China, which, if you're smart, you won't support them, but you'd like to work with them. So that's probably the same thing. It's probably the same approach that he would have taken on Tulsi, because Tulsi wants to fix relationships with countries. Mm-hmm. I guess she said she was. I don't know what the fuck she's doing now. But so this is where he would have went after her, and now he's going after Biden with it, which is he's like Biden praises China. Well, no, that's not really the case, but he's using that, and then he throws in, as he's going to do every fucking time, Joe fucking dementia-ish, cognitive decline, just disintegrating on camera. He throws, they're like quick flashes of him saying something stupid or ridiculous or lame or just gaffing like crazy. Like through the whole freaking commercial, smear against him. He'll put in like one here, another one, a couple of here, a couple there, just showing, okay, this is the fucking idiot you guys want put against me, you know, and it's just going to be a fucking fiasco. So like I've always said, I think the Democratic Party, and I pay attention to this because this is important, I truly believe the Democratic Party would rather see Joe lose to Trump than for Bernie beat Trump. Because they don't want anything that Bernie had to offer at all. It's just too much, trillions and bazillions of dollars. But the game has been changed. And we'll talk about votes and some other things that could possibly influence this election coming up pretty bad. But sorry, I keep getting on there's so much going on. And I'm not going to give up. You giving up?
Heck no.
Fuck no. We're going to keep rolling. We're going to keep moving.
Of course. So I mean, what's the other option? Lay down and accept it and just die?
There's a term in car sales. It's called lay down. That's it. That's all I want to tell you. All right. So the
Zog says it's hula skirt time.
Oh shit, that's right.
Yep.
Dude, I would do it. I just can't. So I promised, if Bernie fucked up or didn't make it, I promised viewers and everybody that this Hawaiian, 42%, some Samoan and whatever else in there, Polynesian, would put on a hula skirt with I might even freeball it and go to fucking Congress right on the steps with my coconut bra, right? And a tiki torch and a sign saying, fuck you, you fucking fucks, right? Or something like, which I think would be perfect. But I can't go there because if I go there, I'll get arrested and I'll be the first person in a FEMA camp. So that ain't fucking happening right now. But as soon as I can, if I'm able to after this, just saying, like most of us, I'll definitely do it. But thanks for reminding. So we're talking about the Essential Workers Bill of Rights.
Right.
You see all the people that are out there right now. They're doing whatever they can to keep us fed, light, water. I mean, you name it. They're doing all kinds of stuff out there. My God, the truckers. I mean, God bless them. Mana to them and everything. The truckers, they're just amazing people. And I mean, I've seen videos of truckers go up to now I don't like the whole drive-through thing, but for fucking God's sakes, these people are moving food and supplies and shit for people all over the country. Essential needed food.
I just don't understand. Are they not supposed to go? I mean, they can't go through drive-through anymore?
No, they can't walk into the drive. They can't.
So they
drive.
should be able to walk up to the window then. I mean, what's the difference?
No. It's like there's like a liability law thing, whatever.
Oh yeah, in case they get run over.
Whatever the case may be, just ask. Just say, hey, bro, what do you need? I'll bring it to you. On the fucking house. To those guys. What do you need? Keep your money. Keep your card, because just in case he has it, you don't want any touching. Like I said, drive-through is probably going to be our demise, because
in more ways than one.
In more ways than one, because you're touching that card. The people that are running these drive-throughs are ill-equipped. Mm-hmm. They don't have training. I mean, you're experienced in that because you were right there.
Oh yeah.
We're. I mean, give us an example of somebody coming up to the drive-thru.
I've had people pull out sweaty wads of money out of their bras or shoes or socks, and when they hand you their money, you could see it's like the nasty patty, but the fingernails version of it is just like crusted up in yellow, nasty hands. And here's your money. And then they stroke your hand, because people are freaks, and they stroke your hand as they give you the money with their nasty, dirty fingernails and their nasty, dirty bra money. And they put it in your hand and touch your hand. And you just say, oh, thank you. Is there anything else I can get for you today? Would you like napkins with that? At the same time, because, I mean, you just have to, because if not, you get fired. And then what happens if you get fired?
I would stroke your hand, I'm just saying. All right.
Well, you're my husband, so you can do that.
Yeah, it's okay if I do that. So there's a lot of contact, not just the
Oh,
money.
and the coughing. Oh, don't even get me started on how many people just
sure.
roll up and... Oh, sorry. That's just a smoker's cough. That's not corona. How would you know? You're still coughing. Ugh. Just get away. It's so nasty.
And this is happening everywhere all over the country, because we're addicted to drive-thru. Now, ever since she's no longer at that place, thank God. So ever since that's happened, about a week or two weeks, we have not. I haven't gone into a drive-thru ever since this thing came out. I put 2 and 2 together, 2 and 2, and made 4 and figured it out just by watching and observing her. And I've watched other drive-thrus. Is that there's just no training. They're ill prepared, no PPE equipment. They're touching cars. They're giving it back to you. They're not washing their hands. They're not washing their hands immediately. They don't have time, because they got to get that food out there in fucking 3 minutes for you.
30 seconds or less.
30 seconds or less, and all this other shit. But you got to stuff your fucking face. Okay, so...
I mean, there was a news article here about, should we... I mean, this guy's balls had to have been just up in his lungs after riding the fence after this article. Because he was going on, he's like, well, people need to make money and businesses need to stay open, but at the same time, we have a deadly fucking virus worldwide that we don't have a vaccine or a cure for. What should we do? And then they go on to say, a business owner, he goes, well, what should I do? Ask the police officer to pack his lunch? Yes, because that's his job, is to what? Protect the community?
Protect and serve, yeah.
So yeah, I'm sorry if it inconvenienced you to throw a fucking peanut butter sandwich in your back seat before you go, but could you please, so people don't die?
Yeah. So if you watch the process, and I've got videos on it, drive-through, which is great, which is good, if you can have non-contact. If you can just order online, have the app, Pizza Hut has that delivery non-contact, and what they do is basically they'll get an online order. You can include your tip. They'll come and deliver it to you. Uber Eats, whatever, however it gets to you. They just put it on the table and they run away. But remember, and I want you to remember this, when you're getting food from somebody that's making minimum wage, that is overworked, a lot of them just don't give a fuck. And I mean, you saw that inside of your own location.
Overworked, underpaid, and then I mean, I can't speak to any other corporations, but Little Caesars, we were still expected to maintain the same amount of productivity, even though there was no customers, and even though we had all these. I mean, no, I wouldn't say no customers. We still had customers coming through pretty regularly. It was a little bit slower, but at the same time, before this, we were expected to. I mean, imagine like just going through at your max speed, and then you kick it up another notch, and then that's how fast you have to work all the time. And then if you don't, then your labor's bad and you get yelled at. So what they do is, now that this quarantine, now we're expected to do all these different things like wash your hands every 20 minutes, wipe down all the contact surfaces every 20 minutes. They never adjusted that labor. So we're having to do even more with even less, and it's just not getting done because there's customers pouring in left and right.
And a lot of people aren't even showing up. I've heard stories and I've seen it that there's like 4 or 5 people when there should be 16 or something like that in these locations. I'm just saying right now, if you are still going through drive-thru, you are definitely risking your life and others. Period.
But that's not even to talk about how many people are in that building, because now they have a new thing. I don't know if it's nationwide or if it's just the state, but there's only a certain amount of people allowed within a certain amount of square feet. So that means, what about the workers? So if you have, let's say, 6 customers, you're going to need a certain amount of workers, but the workers are going to put you over that limit for the amount of customers you can have in. So at a certain point, you can't allow it at all, because these are very small buildings. When you're talking about drive-thru, these are very small buildings, and you've got a bunch of employees packed together to serve.
There is no social.
There's no social distancing at all. No.
And the thing is and that happens at a lot of these places. So and it's probably not just the food industry or the fast food industry. You're probably seeing that at a lot of essential workers, and we're not just picking on the fast food, but or pointing out the fast food, informing the fast food industry. But I guarantee you there's other industries as well that don't have the proper training, aren't using the right techniques, definitely don't have the right amount or stocked or have the equipment or the proper PPE equipment, personal protective equipment, of course. And it's really sad. So, again, we're trying to get to the Essential Bill of Rights. So, with this being known, we believe that they need to make some demands. And McDonald's is doing it. I think some other fast foods are doing it. God, I just feel so terrible for the Walmart employees. Oh, my God, those people. And the grocery store down the street, this lady, I can go into all these. There's just so many stories of how ill-equipped and all this stuff. It's just terrible. So they need to make some demands and do it quickly, or else their lives will be at risk. And I don't want that to happen. I want them to do what's necessary for them. You take care of yourself. You stop putting the fucking bazillions of dollars in these assholes' pockets. You take care of you first, and I'm okay with that. I'll go hunt animals. I'll skin a rabbit. I'm fucking fine with it. I'll do whatever I need to do to take care of my family.
Yeah, you can't, because it's quarantine. You can't leave the house.
No, I'm going to go fucking hunt a rabbit. You're not going to stop me. Trust me.
All right.
I'll, you know what? I know how to lay traps. I used to lay traps in Escondido, California when I was a kid.
Okay.
I did with my grandpa. We used to lay squirrel traps and rabbit traps. And then my grandmother, I don't get all that stuff. But it was pretty cool. God, I'm starting to get that yangy sound in my voice. Okay. The Essential Workers Bill of Rights. This is very huge and very important. So we're we're suggesting that they strike. period, and make demands as necessary. The list of demands that I've put on my Facebook is definitely at least the first thing you should do is protect them and us by equipping them properly. Mm-hmm. The second thing they should do is hazard pay at the very least, time and a half to double time. They should ask for double, whatever it takes. Keep them safe. Keep them happy. And these essential workers, it takes training to do these things. Mm-hmm. You can't just learn how to fucking make a pizza. There are equipment, there are machines, there are processes that you have to learn and do. It doesn't happen overnight. Even just washing dishes takes a process. I know. I used to wash a lot of dishes when I worked for OG's Pizza in California. I used to love it. That was like my favorite thing. It's just because I was a general manager and I just used to go, I'm going to go wash dishes. And everything else would just disappear.
Yeah.
Because I'm just washing dishes. When I had like 55 employees there, it was just crazy. But anyway, so what else are we going to do? And there was something else that I was going to do. So we got PPE equipment, training, properly equipped, hazard pay at least, of course, Medicare.
No.
Health.
I think we should start from the beginning.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. So there are people that can strike right now and there are people that can't, right? Yeah. You went over the essential jobs. So those people have to keep working. So in order to gain momentum and support and do the right thing is to have the workers that are on strike make demands for the people that are still having to work.
That are still there. I mean.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then.
Because they all, I mean, to shut it down, that's pretty serious. But I'm at the point to where, man, please take care of these people, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's not right that they're forced.
I'm not just talking about food. I'm talking about the power workers, power line. I'm seeing power guys go out here working, sewage guys, the trash guys. Just, sorry, real quick. So when I went to toss the old washer out of the back of my truck, I love the big fucking heavy equipment. I was like, yeah, because I used to go to the dump all the time when I was a kid, and just a few years ago. But they're out there. They're in like Mecca of fucking germ city, right? Junk, trash, everything. The thing is, and here's the thing, they need to be taken care of too. And I mean, the list goes on and on and on, and it's just not coming from Trump. It's not coming from, and all these. There's just look. How do I say this? I'm gonna say it anyway. What's fucked up? That's fucked up. It's all fucked up. I mean, it's just so fucking bad of what's happening with this and how it's being handled. It's just terrible. So these guys need to make some demands. I would do the fast food for sure. And you're looking at the phone. Are there some comments or any questions right now?
Yeah, Zox was just talking about stuff. Walmart self-checkouts, about how often they're being cleaned. I don't know. I went up to Walmart for the first time since the quarantine started because I had a list of a bunch of stuff that I needed. Then I went up there, and it was a nightmare. I mean, people just walking down the aisles. They weren't waiting for people to move through so that they could get theirs. I mean, they were just piling on top of each other. Nobody wearing masks. I mean, I was just like, it was a disgusting, infectious nightmare, and I will not go back there.
I went to Lowe's.
So as far as the self-checkouts go, I don't think it's going to be good.
I got in trouble from her, and I think everybody that was around me. They had this protective window at the customer service, and I have wax in my ear that I've had a problem getting out recently. So I'm just like, what? So I went around, and I hear this, what are you doing? I'm like, what? She goes, don't go around the shield. I go, oh, fuck, sorry. Because I couldn't really hear what she was saying. It's just, sorry. But because we're not familiar with this. This is totally new territory. This is very nuts, very crazy. It's fucking weird.
Like, I've had training with it because I worked in the hospital and in the ICU. And so there were very strict precautions that we took when it came to infectious, things, because we had transplant patients and all that. But, I mean, for somebody that is working at Kroger's and has never had exposure to anything like that, I mean, they just don't. They haven't been trained in it. They don't know.
No. This is just a new area. It's totally came on suddenly. I truly believe that if we were ahead of the curve, we'd have the right leaders, but they don't give a fuck. Especially Trump has just been a fucking moron through this whole thing. And if you think differently, leave a comment. Please leave a comment. If you think Trump is doing everything correctly, everything right, everything perfect, no. If you look at some other, the best example of doing things, and there's plenty of them out there. South Korea, not North Korea, because you fucking idiots get it wrong all the time. They're not together. They're totally different countries. But South Korea has taken this seriously and very well from the very beginning. So they've done a great job, and a lot of other countries have. So healthcare for sure. These people need to, and not have to pay it afterwards. Okay, we'll take care of you now, but we're going to give you a bill.
As a loan.
I know. So that's the Nancy Pelosi way, right? Democrat. That's what she was saying. Oh, we'll make loans available so they can pay off their shit. Fuck you, Nancy Pelosi. Fuck you, Chuck Schumer. You know, fuck you, AOC. Bernie Sanders, you fucking piece of shit. Loser. God, what a loser. Okay.
So, you want to go through the Bill of Rights?
No, I'd like for you to do it. Okay, I'll do it. No, you made those, babe. Here, you go through it.
Okay.
Yourself. Okay.
All right. So, first of all, just to cover, because I think this is the most important part for the people that are still forced to work right now, hazard pay and proper PPE. That's an absolute must. If you're going out there and having to make contact with other people, then you're going to have, and you shouldn't have to worry about rationing your PPE.
Yeah, no.
You need to be able to use it the way that it's meant to be used, and not worry about, is there going to be another box of gloves or mask after this?
Sure.
Plus the hazard pay and health care for everyone. That's an absolute must after this. Are you done?
Go ahead. I
Okay.
just turned it off. Just keep going.
Okay. So, as far as the workers' Bill of Rights goes, and this is for post-quarantine, we're talking about restoration of unions, all these anti-union laws that have been passed. They just got to go. They have to go. We need to be able to enable people to organize and make changes within their workplace, because, I mean, who wants to go in there? And I was told this at work before, oh, you need to take ownership pride in your job. Well, what does ownership pride mean to somebody that's making $8.75 an hour and gets yelled at if they're not working fast enough to the maximum of their ability? What does that mean to them? We get no ownership perks, but we're supposed to have ownership pride at the same time that we're getting treated like garbage. So, yeah, we need to be able to collectively bargain. Number 2, Medicare for all. 3, eliminate right to work. Right to work is... thank you, Koch brothers, for just an abomination of a bill.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
But for now, we're demanding those 3 essential things. PPE,
There's 3.
Yeah.
Pass wage protection laws. In at-will employment post-probationary period. Number 6, establish a fair work week. Number 7, protection for the right to organize and strike. Because I don't think that's protected at all. Because as I found out very recently, you are not allowed to mention anything about pay or unions or strikes or anything of that nature, because they will find a reason to get rid of you. So you need to have a protection, just like every other thing. You can't be fired for your race or your religion, and we should add sexuality to that. But also, if you want to organize with people, you should not be they should not be able to fire you for that, or have any kind of rules in place for anti-union, because at the hospital, they had rules in the contract that you could not unionize. And I've seen people that have been fired for just having a union. Somebody handed it to him on the way into the hospital. He had it in his locker, and he didn't even know what it was. And he was fired for 2 weeks before they reevaluated it and let him come back.
Sure.
So yeah, that needs to be protected. A living wage, and I wouldn't set it at a dollar amount because that's too. Um, it fluctuates too much from state to state. I would say a percentage, based on the median house expenses and expenses in that area. That's the percentage actually calculated. For a living wage. Number 9, guaranteed sick leave, paid vacation, and family leave. Number 10, equal pay for equal work. And that's all I got.
That's good. That's good stuff. So the main things right now, though, that I think that definitely your legislator, the judiciaries, the executives out there that supposedly give a shit about you on both sides of the aisle need to understand that we need to make sure these essential workers are taken care of. So number 1, protective equipment. Keep them safe first. And if something happens to to where they do get hurt or injured, or they do pop positive, they have the symptoms and they take the test, definitely make sure that their bill is taken care of. Everything. And I'm saying, this is where Bernie had his moment and he lost it. Mm-hmm. He could have done this. I've tried my hardest to get people, and everybody was asking for it. Myself, Jimmy Dore, Combo Couch, Jamal, Let the Madness Begin, fucking Kyle Kalinske, the Humanist Report. I mean, everybody was out there saying, Bernie, this is your fucking moment. Just tell your people, and we're talking millions and millions of people, definitely that are making minimum wage, definitely don't have health coverage, definitely are sick of paying these giant premiums and copays, and all these people, especially the essential workers. He could have got them to say, you know what, fuck you, I'm not coming in today. I'm not even picketing. Stay at home. It's go big or go home, but in this case it was stay home and go big. That's what I was saying. And he had his moment. This man had more leverage, and I've said this in my past videos, than he's ever had. Ever. And he fucking just threw it away. Right? It's like Wisconsin happened, all of a sudden he crumbled. So right now, from my professional opinion, from my perspective, which is just from the village I came from and what I've seen in my due diligence and my research, Bernie Sanders at this moment is extremely insignificant. I don't think there's anybody that's going to throw him a fucking bone. If they do, it's just out of gratitude for fucking pulling out. If they give him anything with anything he proposes, it's just out of thanks for pulling out, Bernie.
What was the position they gave him last time, which was like Democratic... Jack
off, court jester.
Oh, God, what was that?
Idiot.
Zox might know. Yeah, it was something like that. It was like something to do with outreach, Democratic outreach, or basically bring people in. We're not going to do anything for the people that you bring in, but add more people.
Yeah, we're not voting for fucking Biden. That's for damn sure. That guy's just a piece of shit.
Nobody wants to vote for Biden.
Nobody, not even Biden people want to vote for Biden.
Anybody said like, yeah, man, I am so excited. I can't wait to vote for Biden. No. I mean, I've heard a couple of people, like some insider, little neoliberal type people. They're like, well, reluctantly I'll vote for him because maybe. But there is no maybe. We already know what Joe Biden's about. And now he has dementia, he's not mentally there. So who's going to be making the decisions?
Well, it's been his wife when it comes to staying at home.
I mean, it's going to be George H.W. Bush all over again. Just a bumbling idiot out front, and then or Ronald Reagan.
Ronald was, I don't know.
No, Ronald had Alzheimer's, like dementia.
Yeah, later.
And it was Nancy, just like Jill, that had to coach him through a lot of stuff.
Yeah, through his earplug.
Yeah.
I've already done a show on that. You guys got to see. It's funny. It shows that he when she's there doing a show with him or town hall at the house, because it's just her and him, he doesn't have an earplug, but when he's by himself, he's got an earplug. This is just ludicrous. There's not even a word for it. It's criminal. What has just happened to us, whether it's a pandemic or pandemic, and the dots are starting to connect. In regards to Bill Gates and the pandemic and the whole 9 yards.
Bill Gates has been, it's a very loud whisper right now going around about Bill Gates and the stuff that he's been getting into.
Because I think his problem is, I think what happened is he was in the light too much with this exact scenario. They actually had a rehearsal like a year ago or a year and a half ago of this exact thing happening.
Wow.
Right? And then all of a sudden it fucking happened. And again, his laboratory in Wuhan, China is 300 yards away from the first person that got it. The first person. And there's just a lot of information leading to him. So now he's been his latest video was and I think I got that. He's thanking Wuhan for their sacrifice.
Ugh, what?
Those are his exact words. He's thanking Wuhan for, and everybody, I want you to try to look at this real quick. And I'm just going to scroll through this. I asked, anyway, Tim Canova, I had a conversation with him on Twitter, of course. He said, I'd like to, but he's kind of Israeli-ish, but he understands the plight and wants to bring the two states together, Palestine and Israel. And I don't know who does Empire?
Abby Martin.
I don't think Abby Martin would be happy. Maybe she might have more information on Tim Canova, but I don't know.
I don't know. It depends on what his plan is or what he'd like to see happen.
Yeah, well, I think he understands their strife. I think he understands that they are always in dire straits, and I think he understands how terrible they've been treated for a long time. So let me just see if I can go through here and find this. I don't mind letting you guys see my fucking because I want to show you. Oh, here it is right here. It's the next one. Perfect. Here it comes. Let's see if we can. Let's see.
You made a great sacrifice to be in this very strict
It's up all the way.
I got to do it here, sorry.
I'm very glad that it succeeded, but I'm sure that the difficulties were very great. And so we're thankful that you made these sacrifices. To all the people of Wuhan, you made a great sacrifice to be in this very strict quarantine. And I'm very glad that it succeeded, but I'm sure that the difficulties were very great. And so we're thankful that you made these sacrifices. Being at ground zero of infectious disease is a incredible challenge, and you made changes. Work was stopped, your living was very different, and now the goal that all of that had, which is getting the cases down to very small numbers, and still being super open about, okay, where are those cases? That critical thing is something that people should feel good about.
You should feel good about?
Did you hear that?
Nobody wants to be a sacrifice. Nobody signed up for that.
Holy shit.
I mean, you're not talking to like soldiers that were warned ahead of time. That's what you're going to do.
I didn't really listen to that, but it's almost like he's apologizing for what he did.
No, I don't know.
No. Please, just hear me out. Hear me out. So what that really sounded like, right? And just my perspective is that he is thanking them for their sacrifice. Now think about that. Why would he thank them for their sacrifice?
Well, I mean, you could say that I wouldn't say a sacrifice, but that we did learn a lot of information that could help cure it or create a vaccine.
That's
but
not
the
what
way
you say.
that he's phrasing it
It's not what you say.
is not good.
You would say me not being Bill Gates, I would say it's a travesty what happened. With the people that were affected and died, we will do everything we can to see that this doesn't happen again. Period. You don't thank them for fucking your pandemic. And then what's the last thing he said? It was weird. Let me get that.
Yeah,
that was
a
weird,
very bizarre
man.
Statement.
That was just really crazy.
To all the people of Wuhan, you made a great sacrifice to be in this very strict quarantine, and I'm very glad that it succeeded. But I'm sure that the difficulties were very great, and so we're thankful that you made these sacrifices. Being at ground zero of infectious disease is a incredible challenge, and you made changes. Work was stopped, your living was very different, and now the goal that all of that had, which is getting the cases down to very small numbers, and still being super open about, okay, where are those cases? That critical thing is something that people should feel good about.
That's what you should feel good about. You should feel good about that.
That
was. I mean, I know your mom or your son or your, whatever.
Right.
What's that mean to somebody that's lost somebody like that? What does that mean? Well, I mean, you can feel good now. Stop being sad about your dead mom and just be okay with the fact that you helped America, right? Or
right.
Whoever. I mean, you sacrificed your lives. I mean, too bad the dead people couldn't hear his just rousing speech.
That's exactly right. So
they're feeling good in their graves.
So they supposedly nipped it in the butt pretty well. Now a lot of people are saying that those numbers aren't correct. They think it's bullshit, but they shut that place down tight. They by the way, there was no more drive-thru, American style, right? So they stopped that immediately. And if you see their numbers here, hopefully we can see it a little better. If you can see it right up there, 81,907, only 3,386 deaths. We're already at 16,691, right? They have two thirds or a third more population than we do. This is how fucking stupid we're handling this, right? I mean, like Germany, there's another great example. 118 deaths, only 2,607. Wow, there's a lot of countries that are handling this really well, right? The places got hit first, which is really odd, is China and Iran. Like immediately, Iran got it within days, which is very odd to me. Very odd to me. But anyway, this whole fucking thing has just been ridiculous. I'm not saying this is the case, but I am saying there's too many fucking dots in a map leading back to Bill Gates for this fucking thing. He just knew too much. To have an actual pre-rehearsed event similar to what's happening now.
Is that pre-rehearsed?
Not pre-rehearsed, but what I'm talking about they had an actual simulation of it, and it's almost identical to within tiny aspects of what's happening now. The numbers, everything. The only thing that's different is China. China's numbers are much lower in deaths than what he had predicted, which is kind of fucking up his plan, in my opinion. If it is a plan, You guys need to do some research on Jeff
Yeah.
Bezos, all these fucking billionaires. They're not kids from a garage.
China's numbers, I think, they're definitely fudged. I mean, just like ours were fudged
We
here in
don't
West
know.
Virginia.
We don't know.
But I mean, within a certain degree, because there's
We don't
only so much you can fudge things without it,
Yeah. We don't know.
But yeah, I'm not exactly trusting China's numbers.
I'm not trusting our
But
numbers.
I would say within reason, there's a variance there. But
Well, of course, yeah, no. I mean, you can't put it past that. But my point is this: there's just too many connected dots, and I truly believe that if it comes out to where it was a pandemic, and this was all just a way to get a giant money grab and power grab, just like I know, and everybody fucking out there that's smart knows that 9/11 was an inside job, definitely. And I've got plenty of proof to fucking tell you. If you don't think so, come on my show, and I will do a show with you, and we'll talk about it. But and some other stupid shit, right? Basically, it's like this. At this time, something's happening. It's very bad. There's a lot of fucking people dying. I mean, we're looking at 16,691 in the United States, right? And that hasn't happened that fast with any other flu, any other cold, or anything in a long fucking time. So we're asking and hoping for these essential workers, especially fast food industry, to be helped, taken care of. And anybody that gets it, even though you're non-essential or essential or you're a fucking citizen, we just need to be taken care of. And we're not doing it the right way. We're just not. It's just been a fucking fiasco. This could get really bad really quick, guys. Really, really quick. So with that being known, that being said, do you have anything else you want to add? Because I think I'm good.
I would just say take leadership of this situation for yourself, because there is no leadership on this. There is no unified game plan on this. So it's up to each individual person to be educated, take the necessary steps, to make sure that you are safe and you keep everybody else safe, and, just verify everything, double check everything, because there's a lot of information out there that we just got to weed through.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
Listen to the CDC, World Health Organization. Do not listen to Trump. I got to show that fucking video of this idiot. I'm sorry, I have to.
We'll end on that one.
Yeah, just like, I know. This is fucking amazing. Just like, okay, so that was weird. Him thanking his dying people for helping him with his pandemic. Carver, idiot. Where is it? I'll have it in here soon. It's in there. Oh, I got some good stuff in there. But I'm gonna
You're not showing your video.
What?
Were you trying to show your Facebook right now?
What do you mean?
You're not showing Facebook on the
No,
YouTube.
I'm not.
Oh,
No,
okay. I didn't know if you were trying to.
Well, you can say. I'm
Okay.
good. I'm just flipping through shit. I mean, it's.
I'll show him that. Show him that one.
Which one? This one?
The Joe Biden, down one.
Oh, this one right here.
Yeah.
Oh, this is. Steve made this. This is awesome. Why is this good? This is good. Right here. All right, that's a good one. That's a good one. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this massage. Oh God!
That was one of the super chats in Jimmy Dore's show, and I just had to make a meme of it with all his creepy hair smelling, shoulder touching creepiness. Ugh.
Look at those. And there's so many girls that are just like, get the fuck away from me.
That bottom left one perfectly describes every
terrible.
single person. She's just, her entire body language is
That's
like, the stranger danger.
This one right here. Look at this. Hillary, George, Trump. He's like, yeah, bomb in the back. There's fucking idiot Bernie.
Where was Obama in this election? He's been unusually quiet.
Actually what happened is it was confirmed that he had a conversation the day that Bernie pulled out.
Well, didn't that happen in 2016 too? He went to the White House. He had a little conversation. He got his mind right, and then he totally changed.
Oh, here it is. Here's the video. Oh my God. Here's this freaking numbskull. Watch this. Right?
a face covering out of a... Here's how you can make your own face covering in a few easy steps with items you can find around the house, like an old scarf, a bandana or a hand towel, or you can make a face covering out of an old t-shirt.
What's
Fold
naloxone?
it to the middle from the bottom. Fold it to the middle from the top. Fold it again to the middle from the bottom, and again from the top. And then 2 rubber bands, one on one side and one on the other side.
Naloxone. What's
Then
that?
you fold either side to the middle, and you have yourself cloth face covering. It's that easy.
No, it's stupid.
No. That shirt that he held up. What did it say on there?
Let's look at it. Wait, hold on.
It said got naloxone. Naloxone is a narcotic
So I'm just back into the shed after my
hold on,
afternoon.
pause that. It says naloxone is to treat narcotic overdose
Here's
in
how
an
you can make
emergency
your own face
situation.
cover.
Naloxone is a overdose medication used for when people overdose in emergency situations. So
Are
he
you
held up a
serious?
shirt. What are the things that he's holding up? Got naloxone. What was the other one? There was some bandana. What was the
What is
bandana?
this for? Overdosing?
Overdoses.
What the fuck?
Who has a shirt? Why is there a shirt with
The
that?
other one was.
Are you planning on overdosing? Why
the
would you
other
wear
one
that?
Was a college,
What was the college?
Washington Nationals.
Okay.
DC Washington National. Right, and he's using any cloth, right? And you know what? I gotta find this one real quick of how to properly make. Gotta put that in there.
Naloxone. That is very.
There's my pouch.
That's a very interesting choice of T-shirts that he used there.
Yeah, fucking ding dong.
It's weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking
is
into
totally
it.
Weird. Truth about masks. I think this is it. Let me just check. They took the fucking. They took the video out. So, they're monitoring everybody now. Oh my god. Master healthcare workers, please watch. There were 2 of them I had actually. Anyway, look it up, guys. There's a proper mask out there, and don't use that because if you can breathe or you can feel wind coming out of it, that just definitely means that you can also get wind coming into it. So that's pretty much it. Where is that fucking? They took her video down. Wow, just. I think I got it here. Another one. Spectacular, 2-in-1 special for all, misguided. Wait. Gotta be in here somewhere. I pour that money right in. So Bill Gates starts his foundation, wants to get other people to come into it, of course. Gosh, I think I'm getting to it soon. Bill sure get a lot of publicity. This guy's been everywhere. Lots of publicity.
Yeah, propaganda is here too, and asked why naloxone. I mean, it's just such a very strange choice. I mean, these are people that are very scripted. They don't even point their fingers in a natural way without somebody coaching them on, you point with your thumb, not with your finger, that kind of thing. And to just have a random T-shirt that says got naloxone laying around. It's not like they were just standing in a room like, use that T-shirt. They picked that T-shirt to use in a video. All this is scripted. So what is the importance of having that in the video?
Oh, I like this one. Look at this one.
Oh, that's a good one.
Vote blue no matter who raped you.
Oh.
That's so bad. Oh my god.
What are you showing them?
I'm looking for this mask one. Trump has his killing thousands. We shot ourselves in the foot and now we're paying the price. I'll find it. There he is. This guy's just all over the place now. I just really think he's going to get caught. I think they're going to get caught this time, honestly.
But did Obama ever officially endorse anybody for this election?
Sucks. My sister's such a bought and paid for Rachel Maddow fan.
Oh, she's a sweetheart.
She's a sweetheart, but she just doesn't want.
She just don't know what she don't know.
She's just a little naive. Bernie can be Trump. Hang on. I know I put another one up here. Oh, that's a cool card.
Okay. Mushy
cool,
stuff.
Man. No, mushy stuff is good. Rises. Task Force holds press conference. It's like the idiot club.
He posts a lot of stuff.
There's Ben Carlson.
Oh, what is...
That's the guy you want right now, right?
Oh, Ben Carson, yeah. He makes me, relieves my anxiety.
Yeah, he really makes you feel safe when he's standing next to the podium. For fuck's sakes. Oh, my God. Anyway, they took her down. Yeah, she basically said these masks are stupid. Lay low, please. COVID pandemic. Oh gosh, it's just there's your workers gone. After all the stupid things I've done in my life, if I die because I touched my vape, I'm gonna be pissed. Jimmy News, that's fucking hilarious. Obscure on TikTok. Hazard pay. Sorry guys, just give me a second. What the fuck? Alright, so anyway. If I do find, I'll post. You know what? If I find it.
What, the video of her blowing the fire out? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've already demonstrated it, so it's kind of...
Yeah, okay, but I thought that would be good. But anyway. Alright, listen, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Sorry, I was just flipping through my Facebook. I got a lot of good information in there. So join me on Facebook. All my information's in there. Subscribe, share my videos, share our videos. I've been taking this place the whole fucking time. You know, my shoulders aren't that big. They're just normal shoulders. And thank you all for coming. All right?
Oh, and I'm probably going to be doing a live stream on my channel here. Just a quick solo one over on my channel to really interact with the chat and flesh out a few of these, workers' bill of rights and things like that. Okay. Stuff that's just little things that's been going on in the news.
Yes, Red Economics. You guys check this chick out. She's freaking smart, awesome, and fantastic.
He is biased, though.
This pump. Wonder Twin Powers. Right? Okay. See you guys. Aloha.